My name is David Lee. Today, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the Japanese water ionizer, Level Up K8. It's made 100% in Japan. And this machine is a certified medical device in Japan. It's recognized by over 6,500 medical specialists and professionals in Japan as a medical device. This actually was used in over 400 hospitals in Japan. Okay? It's when it was introduced into the U.S. in 2003. There was an organization, U.S. and Canadian organizations called WQA. WQA's organization is comprised of over 2,500 specialists and manufacturers around the world who examine all the water filtration systems and water ionizer systems in the world. Inagic Company, the Japanese manufacturer of the water ionizers called Kangen Water, is the only company in the world to receive the prestigious certification Gold Seal. This Gold Seal is the only can separate the Level Up K8 from the rest of the pack. Okay? The way it works is this: the machine is hooked up to a city water source in your own household. First, it was filtered by the water filters here, the carbon-based two-layer. Water was filtered, it filters out all the contaminants, for example, chlorines, irons, the large elements in the water that's harmful to our bodies. But it's also actually kept the minerals, things like calcium, magnesium, which is beneficial for our health. So it goes into the next chamber. This chamber here is the electrolysis device, electrolysis chamber. In there are 8 titanium platinum coated plates, medical grade titanium medical grade plates, combined with electricity to 110 to 220 volts. There's a transformers in here that can do that. So it charges the water, separate the water into 2 sources. The good water, the alkalized water with the minerals, go to the top hose, and then the bottom hose get discarded water, acidic water is there. It actually can make 7 sources, 7 types of different water. There are 3 alkaline water, ranges from 8.5 to 9.0 and a 9.5. So at the beginning, we recommended you try the 8.5 water first. If your body is not used to the alkalized water, so 8.5 first. After a week, it goes to 9, and then a week later, it goes to 9.5, and you stay there as well. You can actually use the 9.0 water for cooking purposes, and 8.5 for making tea or coffee. For me personally, I use 9.5 for coffees and teas as well, so it brings out the flavor. Okay. It also can make the clean water, okay, 7.0 for making baby formulas and taking the medication, 7.0. This is the beauty water, which is a 6.0 pH water used for skin cares and hair care treatment. This is actually a toner that ladies would love to use unlimited. Okay, the toner 6.0, and then the special water is a strong acidic water. So when you press this button, the top hose will produce 11.5 strong alkaline water, and then the bottom hose will produce 2.5 water. So when the water gets down to 2.5 pH, it can actually kills 99.9% of the bacteria. So it could be used as disinfectant water. Especially this water in Japan, in hospitals, people use this machine to make that 2.5 to disinfect, to sanitize all the surgical equipments, and also helps with the patients with diabetes, things like that, for skin eczema treatment, skin treatment. Okay, So that's the machine. It's 100% in Japan. We love the Japanese products because it's made to last. Now, I would like to introduce you to talk to you about the Kangen drinking water. The drinking water has three distinct properties. Okay, they are number one, extremely high antioxidants. Number two, alkalization, and number three is microclustering. So we can go through each of these property individually, so we can see the superiority of the Kangen water versus other water. Antioxidant, as you can see, nowadays we spend a lot of money on fruits such as strawberries, blueberries, that has rich amount of antioxidants. Right, keep our body, keep the process of aging from happening. So, for example, if we're talking about oxidation, we're talking about, for example, an apple. If you cut the apple in half, leave it out in the air for a couple of hours, it's going to turn brown, right? Because of the oxidation. So we call it aging, inflammation. Okay, so our body is the same way. It's caused by things called free radicals, right? Free radicals come from everywhere. Come from the air, come from food, come from cell phone, come from chemicals, food that we eat, drinks that we drink every day. So those things that continue to attack our body and make our body oxidized. So, and it also is a source, number one source of all the deadly diseases such as cancers, diabetes, gouts, acidosis, acid refluxes, big problems in the U.S. Right? So talking about the antioxidants, right? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you the charts called the oxidation reduction potential, ORP value. Oxidation reduction potential. The way it's measured is measured in a negative value. The higher the number is, the better the ability to reduce oxidation. The higher the positive number is, the lower the ability of the reducing oxidation. So you can see in this chart here, bottled waters, tap waters, sport drink, Gatorades, and sodas are all going to give you a positive numbers. Whereas in this half of the chart, you see tea, vitamin C, fruit drinks, liver oil, and the Kangen water will give you a higher negative numbers, right? So keep that in mind. We're gonna go back to here, and I'm gonna be able to demonstrate to you which types of water here has a higher ORP values, right? So we have, first of all, we have the soda, represent all the soda and the sport drink, right? And then we have Aquafina. This is a Pepsi product, and as you know, that in here, if you read the labels, there's an agent called a magnesium sulfate. This agent actually make you thirstier, make you more thirsty. It's a brilliant idea of marketing, right? To get you more thirsty, you buy more water, isn't it? So, and it is also the plastic. So in plastic here, there's a thing called collagen. It basically is the plastic is going to leach to the water, and this is actually proven to be number one cause of cancer as well. Okay, so we're going to use, but for this purpose here tonight, we're gonna show you the ORP values in this type of water. Here I have the essential alkaline water. You can see on the shelves at the grocery stores and convenience store. It's also alkaline. But if you read in the back of the labels here, it has baking soda. Baking soda it actually makes the water alkaline. But there's a big difference between alkaline water and our Kangen water, which is alkalized water. Right? We also have Dasani, which is a Coca-Cola, big company. They get into the water bottle industry, billions of dollars. This is the water that you can get in Sam's Clubs or Costco. Okay, they're all the same. And here we have tap water, okay, unfiltered tap water, and Kangen water 9.5. Okay. All right. What we're going to do now, we're going to try to measure the ORP values. What I have here is the ORP device. oxidation reduction potential device. You can get this in Amazon, places like that. You can actually measure the ORP value. So what we're going to do, we're going to measure here. Everything look the same to you. Oh, I didn't do the soda. Let's finish the soda. A little careful so we don't get all the gas. Spill it out. There you go. So now, as you can, keep referring to the chart here. The higher the positive number, the worse it is, and then the higher the negative number, the better it is, right? The better ORP. So we're going to use this to measure the Kangen water. Okay, Kangen water, you can see it start coming down, and reaching the negative number. Okay, so you can see right now it reaching the negative over negative 700 negative ORP, right? With tap water, you can see it's in the under 200 ORP value. The Costco Sam's Club water also is in the positive 200. Right? If you can refer to the chart, you can see that all the bottled water is give you the positive numbers. The Dasani also is 300. Essential is a little under 200, but it's still a positive number. Aquafina, I got 250 positive, and soda, you're gonna see it jumps to about 500 positive numbers. Very, very bad, right? So you can see it'll make you aging and oxidizing your body very fast in drinking that. So now I'm gonna just clean it out, and we're gonna go to Kangen water, and as you can see, jump right back to the negative 700. Okay, so as you can see that this Kangen water has a tremendous high ORP value. What does that mean? What does that mean to us? Okay, well, if you drink in this, you know that one glass of Kangen water is equivalent to a couple of pounds of broccolis and strawberries and blueberries. And if you eat, you got to go to the digestions process, and then in turn it'll create waste and toxins and then acidic thing. Whereas if you drink water, it just absorbs faster and goes straight to your body, right? This is what they call a fountain of youth, right? Right here, I consider that. Okay, if you're drinking a lot of this Kangen water. Excellent, right there. So that's the first property, right? Very high ORP value. Keep you young, aging process, or slow down the aging process. And as far as inflammatory, if you have problem with arthritis, joints and pains, this will help a lot, because those you have pains in the joint, that's inflammatory. Okay, and this one has the ability to reduce inflammatory. So that's property number one. So now we're going to talk about property number two, which is the alkalinity. Before I mention I talked about alkalinity, I like to kind of introduce to you this gentleman here. His name is Dr. Warburg, Otto Warburg. He got his Nobel. He's German. He got a Nobel Prize in 1931 for his discovery, which is pretty pronounced. Whereas he says that all forms of cancer have two basic conditions: acidosis or hypoxia, right? Lack of oxygen. Okay, so that means that cancerous tissues are acidic, whereas healthy tissues are alkaline, right? Okay, so knowing this is from a gentleman who got the Nobel Prize. So let's apply that into our daily lives, right? So if we want to be healthy, we keep the acidic state, balance it out as much as possible, right? So what I have here, different waters, different liquid. You can't tell. Like I said earlier, we're gonna use this liquid drops here. This one you can get it at the swimming pool companies or fish pond company itself. You can measure the pH. So when you talk about acidic and alkalinity, we're gonna talk about the pH chart. Okay, this is gonna measure the level of acidics or alkaline. As you can see, pH ranges from 1 to 14. Okay, 1 being acidic, very acidic, and 14 very alkaline. In the middle, neutral is 7. Our body, to be functional well, our blood is right around neutral, right? 7.3. Don't quote me, but 7.3454 or something like that. If our blood is less than that, we're going to be in trouble, or higher than that, we're in trouble. So we try to be in neutral. But unfortunately, what we eat, what we drink out there, and free radicals, it's gonna 80% of those things are very acidic, right? The steaks, the fish, the seafood, and all the processed food and the fried foods that we eat every day. It's gonna be very acidic, right? So we wanted to help balance. Our body can also do that for us, but you can rob all the electrolyte from the tissues, from the bones, and to do that, eventually it's going to run out. So we need to help our body, and also as we age a little bit, those things can get a little bit scarce. We don't have as much reserve, so we need to help our body a little bit. So the way we do, I'm gonna show you the level of acid in this body, or alkaline. So we're going to use this, and we're going to put a few drops, about 5 drops in each cups. All right, so we can see it changes the color because of the pH, right? As you can see, the soda is very orange, very, very acidic. As you know, that you can actually use soda to clean out your battery terminals, right? The acidic is so high, you can actually do that. And imagine if you put that in our body, right? Aquafina, you think a lot of people, very popular drink. Look at how acidic it is, because it's actually got stripped out. This is the RO water, reverse osmosis water. It's actually strips all the electrolytes from the water, all the minerals. So then if it's dead water like that, it's very easy to be oxidized. And as you can see. Now, it's essential is also, they call it alkaline water is 9.5, but then you know that it has a baking soda in it. Okay, so I'm going to prove to you later in a little bit the difference between alkaline water in the market today and the shelves in Kangen water. Dasani, Coca-Cola, same thing. Costco rack, very acidic. As you can see the color from the charts here, very acidic. The city tap water is sort of neutral because why? This is mandated by the government to put chlorine in it to keep the water neutral, less acidic. Why? Because it's not going to affect, it's not going to rust the pipe system coming to our homes. That's all they even with it. I mean, yeah, as far as the pH level, you can drink it, but there's chlorines in it, contaminants. You don't want to do that. Kangen water, 9.5, beautiful. Okay, so you can see that it's now, before we go into any further experiments, I'm going to show you the difference between these two. This is essential, this is a Kangen water, right? So what we can do, it's going to be a little bit of fun experiment here. I'm trying to do it by myself. Normally we have somebody to help me, and I'm see if I can do that. I'm going to put the 2 straws in each, and then we're going to try and blow air into it and see what happens. As you can see, I'm putting the same amount of air into that, and this one turned back into more acidic state, and our Kangen water still remains an alkaline. Okay, so this is a lot more stable than this one. Okay, and this one right here, you can see, and then it's also chemicals in there, baking soda, right? So, and then, you know, now it's become very popular type of water. People spend like $3-4 a bottle like that. Okay, here you have the machine, unlimited, you can use. Okay, so now let's do a little bit fun experiment here. If this is, imagine this is our body, right? Our body, we absorb 80% of what we eat and stuff. It's going to be acidic. So our body constantly in an acidic environment, right? So now if you have some help in drinking Kangen water, what's going to happen? It's going to turn our body into more alkaline state, right? Keep it healthy, right? You imagine that when it's young children, our children, the little ones, they have plenty of energy because their bodies are alkaline, right? They haven't gotten all the contaminated stuff, the junks that we have accumulated over the years with junk foods and processed foods and fried foods and all that stuff. And here we have soda. And the reason I stopped at soda because I wanted to emphasize the fact that it will take 32 cups of Kangen water to neutralize one of these things. Okay, it's how bad it is. So when I saw this for the first time a couple of years ago, I said, oh my goodness, I need to stay away from it. I was guilty as everybody else drinking soda. Now I'm going to do the reverse, right? If we just drink in a little bit of soda and then take it into our body, what's going to happen? Voila. It turns everything into a acid acidic state. So as you can see, this is how bad it is. So we hope that you see this and make this as a stop immediately this into your family and our children. And also we also need to stop this. And also sport drinks as well. Okay, sport drink, Gatorade is in the same family. Okay, so this is the second property that the Kangen water has, a very alkaline, very alkalized. Okay, the difference between this is natural alkalized, this is chemically alkaline. Okay, so the big difference. So that's the second property. Now, I'm gonna talk about the third property, which is the microclustering. Okay, the microclustering right here. Okay, microclustering you can see from here. Under a microscopic view, this is a body cells. Okay, this is a cluster of a Kangen water, and then this regular cluster. It's about 4 or 5 times larger. So you can see if the cluster, the water cluster is the smallest, it's going to be absorbed into a body a lot faster, easier than the regular cluster, as you can see. So if it stays out here and outside of the body cells, then it won't hydrate the body as good. If it can't hydrate it, can't go inside and hydrate, then it won't do the detoxification. Okay, and our body constantly need to be detoxed, right? Detox is also as important at bringing it because as we accumulate all the junks in our body, we need that, right? So to prove that, a Kangen water has the microcluster, so therefore it hydrates our body a lot faster. We're gonna make tea, right? Make tea. Now, we all know in order to make tea, I have here is okay, it's a tea. Here we're gonna have some green tea. Okay, green tea. We're gonna take a couple of packets out, right? And we're gonna make tea. All right. So as we all know, when we make tea, we have to heat up the water, right? Right. Why? Because when we heat up the water, the cluster of the water becomes smaller. And as we said earlier, if its cluster is smaller, it can penetrate, right? So it can penetrate the tea bags and make tea. For our body, we cannot drink hot water. But so now let's make tea. As you see, regular water, we make tea. We see we can make tea with cold water. We're trying to make cold water. You know that it won't make tea, right? Because the water is cold. So now I'm going to use a Kangen water, right? Kangen water here to make tea. As you can see, it makes tea instantly. That's the power of hydration and power of absorption. It's right there. Okay. I have a friend who's very skeptical. He said, well, it wasn't wet. It wasn't wet first. So, okay, well, for those that are skeptical, let's do it one more time. Yeah, let's do it again. Now the tea bag is wet. We're gonna make tea. No, I'm going to use the same bag. And we use the Kangen water. Let's make tea. This can actually make 10 cups of these tea. Smell like good tea to green tea. All right. So that proved my point that the Kangen water has tremendous hydration power and therefore detoxification, excellent for our body. So I've just presented to you the three distinct excellent properties of Kangen water. Let's review it. Number one, antioxidant, okay? Anti-inflammatory, anti-aging, if you will, okay? Keep your body young and healthy. Number two, alkalinity. Very high alkalinity is going to help balance out the acidic state in our body. We always constantly bombarded with all the junks, right, from the processed foods and fried food. It's going to help. And number three, as you can just saw it right now, the microclustering of the Kangen water, it has the ability to hydrate, absorption power. So now, just want to do one more thing for you to see, that if you, for those of you who drink vitamin supplements, okay, and I've heard some people complaining that if you take vitamins, it's such a waste, you don't feel anything. Well, if you take the vitamin supplement, but if you take it with the wrong kind of water, it's not going to do anything, as I'm proving to you right now. I got a little bit of residue from the tea bags, okay, and I'm using regular water in there, and I same residues from the tea bag, and I'm pouring Kangen water. As you can see, it's a little bit of residue, and the Kangen water continue to extract the tea from that. And therefore, so if you take vitamin supplements with Kangen water, it's going to help. It's going to pull out 90-95% of those nutritions and then absorbs into our body. Whereas if you use the other water, regular water, you probably end up wasting 90% of that. So that's the big difference right there. Okay, so those are the three drinking waters. Now I'm going to talk to you about the higher 11.5 water, where it has the ability to take out all the pesticides and germicides from the fruits and produce, okay, because it has the ability to dissolve, break down the oil, okay. And as you know, that in this in the farming industry, they spray pesticides, right, into the tomato to keep it fresh, right. So we're gonna do a little bit of demonstration to you here. Okay, this is a fresh tomato, just got it from the store, the grocery store. All right, so now as you can see, what we do normally when we wash the tomato, we just use regular water, right? This is tap water, just rinse it in the sink, thinking that it's gonna clean it. Well, let's find out if it's gonna be clean or not. So I have here is the Kangen water 11.5, strong alkaline water, right, from the K8. All right. And then we're gonna let it soak for a little bit. Okay. Stir it for a little bit. I'm gonna stir both of these. All right, so let it soak for a little bit, and then we're gonna do this. I'm gonna show you why in a second. It has the ability to break down oil. So we have here, let's do the oil test. I have here the Japanese sesame oil, 100% organic. Okay. And as you know, water and oil do not mix, correct? So this is the regular water. Pour it into this up here. And as you can see, oil floats to the top. Does not mix, right? And here we have the Kangen 11.5 water. It actually breaks down the oil. Okay, amazingly, right? You can see oil, water don't mix. This breaks down all of it. Okay, this is how it's going to help our body. Okay, this is how it's going to keep your cholesterol down, and it's going to keep our body healthy, and removes all all the contaminants from the fruits and produce. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna do next is to show you what the Kangen water can do. So this is the regular water that we did, right? We put it in and trying to clean the tomato. And here is the Kangen water. With the 11.5 Kangen water. You can see the difference. Okay, this one actually removes the pesticide, germicides from the produce, because these are like oil-based product. Because in the farming, environment, it has to be oil-based. Otherwise, the rain will just wash it all away. So you got to put oil in there, and oil, you know that regular water cannot do that. And then if you taste the tomato, it actually tastes better, tastes sweeter, crispier than this one. If you're here to eat it, you can try it. This one is sour, and this one taste will be sweeter. Okay, sweeter and fresher. Okay, I wish you were here to see it, but you can see it right here from the liquid, right? All right, so that's the tomato 11.5 test. The last thing I'd like to show you is the impact of using tap water in your everyday use. Right? We know that tap water is mandated to have chlorine in it to keep the water from being too acidic. So what I have here, so we're gonna show you that tap water has chlorine in it, right? It's tap water. So we're gonna put in 2 cups the same water, right? And then we're gonna use a little test here. This is the chlorine test. So if you put it in here, if the water has chlorine, it's gonna turn color. 3 drops. And as you can see, the water turned yellow. Chlorine. Would you want to drink that? No way, right? No way. Okay. But guess what we do? So I have a little bit of onions here. We cut off, and then we normally wash it, right? We're thinking of washing all the fruits and vegetables. And we wash it. And if you observe in, you see that the yellow color disappeared. How come? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm presenting you the actual onions actually cleans your water. Okay? This onion has actually absorbed all the chlorines in here. And guess what happened? We eat it. So we unfortunately accidentally just absorbs and takes all the chlorines in it. No wonder why we get sick all the time, because this, you see, clear. So now I wanted to show you this. This is the same water from this tap water bottle here, right here. Okay, so we know that if we tested it with the chlorine test, it's going to turn yellow, right? So now I'm putting my hands in here. I'm imagining that you actually shower in the water here every day, 10 minutes, longer than that. Okay, it's going to happen. Well, we'll see. Okay, we put the chlorine test in here. Drop. Nothing. So that proved my point right there, right? Where's the chlorine goes? It goes into my hand. Okay, so imagine that we take a shower every day for 5-10 minutes every day. Our body has the largest surface area, which is our skin, and we takes it in all of that. And it's actually statistics says that if we take a shower, averaging about 10 minutes, you actually is the equivalent to drinking 3 gallons of this water, 3 gallons of all these chlorines in it. Very harmful, right? So all those are creating free radicals. Free radicals in turns into inflammatory, aging, diseases, and all that. So Kangen water, you know, doesn't have any chlorines in it. A company has a shower machine that you can actually you can purchase it, install it into the shower, it takes out all the chlorine. You then there's also 3 different types of stones in there that are actually imported from Okinawa island in Japan that is actually can turns water into alkaline water with the negative charge and then chlorine free. So you're taking that when you take a shower in that water, you have a feeling that you're actually taking a hot spring shower, hot spring bath. Amazing, excellent shower machine. So with that, I conclude my presentation. I made a decision 2 years ago that after I saw the presentation, I decided to purchase this one. To me, preventative medicine, preventative disease is better than curing it, right? So it's better to protect and protect our body, protect from all the disease, deadly disease, and for our loved ones in the family, not just for me, for my family as well. So I made the right decision to purchase one, and I hope you will do the same. Okay, just thinking this is like your another doctor in your family in your journey for the rest of your life. Okay, this machine is actually has the warranty for 5 years. The lifespan of it is 25 years and more. Okay, so with that, I thank you for your time, and hopefully we'll see you in the near future.